We're live on YouTube, X, Rumble, about to be live on Rockfin. As soon as that little red go live button is clickable, let's see. Not yet. We're almost there. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday evening. National Text Your X Day, which we'll talk about at the end of the show. There it is. Now we're live on all the platforms that I'm live on. And hold on one second here and make sure this is in the right place before I lose it. And, all right. Here we go. Biden's garbage gift. Election chaos priming. And a new white dude for Harris just dropped. Could be the biggest yet. This is the propaganda report. I am Loki meets Weird Al Yankovic and Brad Binkley. Thank you for joining me today. I've got just a conglomeration of stories that I want to talk about. I was on with Slow News Day earlier this morning. It was a fantastic show. It was fun hanging out with those guys. Check it out on Rockfin, on Rumble. And we had a good conversation. Those guys are so smart. It's interesting to get to talk to people who are so well studied in the deeper layers of the news. So check it out. And let's dive in to the story today. I do have a guest that I'm going to bring on here in a second. But before that, I'd like to keep you updated on these last few days of campaigning that they're doing because there's so much time being spent in Georgia. And if there's a problem with my audio, guys, by the way, since I don't have a co-host right now, let me know in the chats so I can do something about it. I think everything is good. It appears to be. Yeah, okay. So Kamala Harris is coming to Atlanta at least one more time before Election Day, and that is on Saturday for what her campaign is calling the When We Vote, We Win. Thank you, Forrest Mommy. The When We Vote, We Win rally featuring Kamala Harris, obviously, and a special guest. It doesn't say who the special guest is. Personally, I don't know how special of a guest you can get when you've already had Beyonce, unless they're bringing Diddy out himself. I mean, that would be truly the pinnacle to close out the rallying for Kamala with Diddy rapping, rhyming, and lubing. Meanwhile, Eric Trump is going to be in Douglasville on Friday here in Georgia at Fox Hall Resort Legacy Lookout at 6 p.m. By the way, the Kamala details are obviously have not been revealed yet, and they won't be till shortly before or after. But the Trump details, his campaign team, they are revealed 6 p.m. at the Fox Resort Legacy Lookout. And Florida Representative Byron Donalds will be in Atlanta tomorrow on Thursday. On Halloween, delivering remarks for Team Trump at 6 at the Trump 47 office, 6849 Peachtree, Dunwoody. What if Trump wins and then Biden steps down and Kamala still becomes the 47th president for a short period of time? Have to rebrand all of it. People who got the 45 and 47 tattoos going to have to get that 7 twisted into an 8. Which I think is a sexual move as well, too. I don't know. That's what somebody told me at DragonCon. Moving on, before our guest comes in. Trump supporters were called garbage by Biden. You probably saw that story. I'm sure everybody saw it because Biden was in this Zoom interview and he was told about what the comedian was going to kill Tony. Tony Hinchcliffe said about that floating mass of garbage in the ocean, also known as Puerto Rico. Biden was asked about that, and Biden responded by saying, well, the only garbage I see floating around are Trump supporters, basically. I'm probably misquoting him, but it's never something like that. Here's what Biden looked like. Every single story about this has this image of Biden from this Zoom call. What are they doing? They must hate the guy if they can't. The Zoom call was probably this interview he did. Probably didn't only have this image, but this is a CBS News image here that's like the camera's like pointed at his forehead, the top of his head, and he's like under the worst fluorescent lighting ever sitting in front of it. It looks like he's sitting on the floor in the fireplace. Honestly, it looks like the camera is a dick he's about to suck. They could have picked a better picture for Joe here. Hello, Sonia. Hello, Nate. Thank you. Yes, Asgardian arm. Yeah, well, I got to protect Asgardian. Good reference, Nate. So this is the picture. They want Biden to look bad, and so Biden, he called everybody he called them garbage, the Trump supporters, and thus the new basket of deplorables was born. Memes everywhere of Trump supporters referring to themselves as trash cans, calling for fellow trash to follow them on X, and they'll follow back. A trash follow train. Memes about reading a book in bed that just show an image of a trash can sitting in bed with a book. Everybody's a trash can, or they're trash. They're owning it. They're loving it. Everywhere, Trump supporters adopting this label, reappropriating this insult, and turning it into a proud term of endearment, just like the basket of deplorables. The shirts are even already available. Look, you can already get your shirt. You can already get your garbage Trump shirt. What does that say? It's a little too small for me to see it. Yeah, garbage for Trump. This garbage is for Trump. Already there. People are on top of these shirts, man. It's tough to keep up. This was such a gift that Biden gave, intentionally or unintentionally, to Trump supporters, because before they adopted the garbage label, like they did deplorables, there was another term that some Trump supporters had started adopting, ironically, sarcastically, yes, Nazis. There was such a fun Nazi rally. Look at all the Nazis. I'm a proud Nazi. Follow me, Nazis. Let's do a Nazi follow. It was a very obviously sarcastic, in this time and context, we're all Nazis if they're going to call us Nazis joke going on. It didn't spread quite as quickly as this one, because this one intercepted it, thankfully, because while we all would have gotten the Nazi joke, we get the Nazi jokes people were making. People 100 years from now, when everything on X is part of the historical record, they're not going to know some kid in the year 2124, the years 1940 and 2024, that might as well be the same to that kid. He's not going to be differentiating in the real Nazis and the ironically sarcastic Nazis of the Twitter age. He's going to be saying, why did the Nazis wait 80 years to come out? And they're going to say, because Lord Nazi Elon did not emerge with this digital space for them when Nazi leader Adolf Hitler reincarnated came back. I mean, that could be one of the histories they tell. But sarcasm and context does not travel well through time. And even worse, had the Nazi, I'm a Nazi, kept going, it would have given the Biden administration, which on his first day declared that domestic terrorism is the biggest threat America faces. And a few months later, they rolled out the National Countering Domestic Terrorism Strategy, which basically identified anybody who didn't support the narrative, anybody who questioned vaccines, who questioned the 2020 election, conspiracy theorists. This language is in there. And certainly would have made it easy for them to kind of just pluck anybody they want. Oh, you called yourself a Nazi? Yeah, I was being sarcastic. Sarcasm doesn't work. They interpret that as literal now. I mean, nobody even gets obvious sarcasm anymore on social media because everybody's so serious. So Biden did Trump people or whoever, Trump world, a favor by intercepting an emerging I'm a Nazi joke and turned it into I'm garbage, let's roll with it, a fun joke. Actually, probably saved a lot of people from getting arrested by the actual Gestapo. Yeah. Yeah, so Hinchcliffe, it was funny watching him do that set it was like 9 in the morning, or maybe it wasn't that early, but he was one of the first ones. And you could tell, it's not his usual room. It's a lot of older folks, some younger ones as well, but he did what he does, man. And it's funny for them to just, I'm actually surprised that they focused on the Puerto Rico thing instead of him saying, hey, there's a black guy. We ate some watermelon together before the show. I mean, that's what he does. And that's part, I mean, that's like his thing. And that's funny when he's, he does it with black guys who do it too, with Hispanic guys, Asian guys. Everybody makes fun of everybody at these roasts. Nothing is off limits. But you just implant one of them into one of these rallies, and suddenly it's like, oh my God, they're going to lose all the Puerto Ricans because the blah, blah, blah. I'd be willing to bet that there's 0 Puerto Ricans that were going to vote for Trump that saw Tony Hinchcliffe say that and who went, oh my God, everything they said about Trump being a Nazi is right. Look at this guy calling us trash. I'm voting for Kamala or Chase Oliver. 0 people made that choice. It's all BS. So, with that said, I have a special guest. First, the celebrity endorsements. Okay, some big celebrity endorsements today. First, Buzz Aldrin endorsed Donald Trump. I'm not going to read his entire 18,000-page letter, but the closing part of his letter, he said, in this election, we have a choice. We all have one vote. I'm picturing him standing on the fake moon as he says this. Flag being blown by, table fans. We have one choice. For some, the choice may not be easy, but in times of uncertainty, real leaders are most needed to guide and inspire the people, to push through the noise, recognize what really matters, and accomplish missions critical to all citizens. Most citizens rightly consider it an honor to cast their vote for a leader they believe will best serve the nation, our government, by and for the people. For me, the future of our nation to meet enormous challenges and for the proven policy accomplishments above, I believe the nation is best served by voting for Donald J. Trump. I wholeheartedly endorse him for the President of the United States. Godspeed, President Trump, and God bless the United States of America. Whew. I think he talked about Space Force at some point there, but the more exciting endorsement is the new White Dude for Harris that just dropped, which Arnold Schwarzenegger is a white dude for Harris. Get the ball gag out. And here's a little bit of his statement, and I got a treat for you guys. I'm definitely not going to read this entire. Look how long. Why do you need so many words to say that you're endorsing somebody? I'm okay with I'm with Harris, I'm with Oliver, I'm with Trump. That's fine. But we don't need a dissertation from every single person who is going to endorse or tell the world they're voting for. Nobody cares. We don't need a 45-minute show on why I, formerly from this party, am voting for this person from this party. Nobody gives a shit. Here is part of Arnold's endorsement. I don't really do endorsements. I can't do his voice. I'm shy about sharing my views. No, he's not. He used to have gang sex with girls in the Gold's Gym when he was, king of the workout world. Like, you should look up, there's like a list of like awful things about Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like one of the worst people. I love the movie Terminator. Not a great guy. Blah, 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 governor, and down here, that's a no. So he gives all his reasons, and he says, we need to close the door on this chapter of American history. Oh, wait, no. He does say this, because I want to make sure we get just a little bit of the flavor here. It will be 4 more years if Trump wins, of bullshit with no results. That makes us angrier and angrier, more divided and more hateful. We need to close the door on this chapter of American history, and I know that former President Trump won't do that. He will divide. He will insult. He will find new ways to be more un-American than he already has been, and we, the people, will get nothing but more anger. That's enough reason for me to share my vote with all of you. I want to move forward with this country, and even though I have plenty of disagreements with the platform, I think the only way to do that is with Harris, Walz, White Dude for Harris. And with that said, to tell us in his own words himself, Mr. Schwarzenegger, are you there? Are you on the line?
Yes, Brad, I'm here. I didn't appreciate the impersonation you just did of me. I've got to say, like, you bring on the guest, the best, the smartest thing is not to insult them right when they come into the studio.
Well, I just think you're a piece of shit.
Wow, I don't let anyone talk to me that way, Brad. The last person who did, I ran my fist through the stomach and break the damn spine.
Was that one of the women you were having gang sex with in the Gold's Gym bathroom?
Look, I might be shy about sharing my political thoughts and thoughts, but I'm not. I'm not shy about sharing my penis with people.
You shared your penis with the guys in the Gold's Gym bathroom as well as the lucky lady?
I've shared my penis with a lot of people, Brad.
Yeah,
and I
right.
thank you not to judge me for it.
Yeah, I remember when you got that was it your maid pregnant and you had that very beautiful wife and
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, for Text Your Ex Day, I text her and I text Maria Shriver on a dual text.
so you're in a three-way chat. You're on a throuple chat. But it sounds, with that kind of behavior, that you're a lot like Doug Emhoff, the husband of the woman that you just endorsed.
You just sped up really fast.
You're like Doug Emhoff.
Oh, Dougie. I love Dougie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, tell us about your endorsement. Why did you decide to go for Kamala?
Well, Brad, I'm a Republican. I was the governor, of California. And, growing up through my youth, which I would say youth goes until, your mid-40s or so.
Yeah, of course.
I've had a change of myself, change of opinion. I used to call people and I referred to Boy George as Girl George, and I realized
you used to dress up as a lady, didn't you, in Hollywood?
I do all kinds of things that I realize the error of my ways. Will Ferrell and I had a long talk about men dressing up as women.
That's right. It's not funny.
It's offensive.
Yeah. Of course.
Calling people girly boys that aren't strong as me.
Mr. Schwarzenegger, your phone is kind of cutting out a little bit. I don't know. Maybe you're in the mountains of a signal issue. But I find it interesting that you followed up Trump in hosting The Apprentice. And now, gave you that opportunity. Now it feels like you're just backstabbing him by saying all these things about him. He just wants division. Come on. Are you afraid of a nearly 80-year-old man?
I'm not anybody, Brad.
Yeah.
But I had a long talk with the ladies on View.
With who?
The View.
Oh, The View. Oh, of course. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I went for a latte.
Yeah. You get in some of that puss, that Behar?
I'm up in a lot of different women,
Right.
But, Joy, she's a very intelligent person.
Oh, and, really?
All the ladies on The View are very intelligent women.
Yeah.
And, right. They helped me see the error of my ways in the past.
What was the error? What is the path for the future? What is Kamala going to do for you?
Well,
are you being blackmailed? I should ask that. I have a great question here. Because it appears that everybody endorsing Kamala is compromised in some way. So what do they have on you? Because what we know about you is already pretty bad.
What you know about me is already out there. What
you're an open book, huh?
What worse things could I have already done by now aside from, sacrificing chickens to Moloch?
So you've sacrificed chickens to Moloch.
I'm not saying I have or haven't, but there's a good chance that I have.
Did you say Moloch?
Moloch.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The daemon. The owl god.
Okay. So are you going to have a spot in the Harris administration if she wins? What do you get out of this?
I could be a secretary of many things. I was the governor. They could make me secretary of actors.
Secretary of actors?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird position.
You've got to make. The government needs to be making movies. Like my forefathers did.
like your forefathers made movies. Are you upset that the new Running Man they're going to be replacing you in the Running Man, probably with a person of color, if I had to guess, maybe a trans?
I would be very, very honored if there was a trans that took over all of my roles.
Yeah, right. Of course,
You know,
trans Terminator is what everybody wants to see.
Trans Terminator, Trans Commando,
Who are you
Trans
living with
Warrior.
now? Are you by yourself right now?
Right now,
Yeah, like just in general. I know your wife. You have that throuple phone conversation, but do you live with anybody or just yourself right now?
it depends on where I'm staying at the time.
Yeah.
I don't really
Tim
know.
Walsh. You ever done anything with Tim Walsh? Any sex with him?
No, I don't know Coach Walsh that well yet.
Yeah.
Not well enough to have sex with him.
Right. You got to at least, how long do you have to know somebody before that happens? 15
Well,
minutes?
they got to be wearing the pink tie.
That's the signal. It's like the pink flamingo.
Sure.
What do you hate about Trump?
There's a lot of things to hate about Trump. Everything he said about those Ohioans. Ohioans aren't eating dogs and cats,
Yeah.
Nah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. No.
Why would anybody eat a dog? Why would anybody eat a cat? That's so weird. Why? He's the only person saying that, too. He's the only one saying it. Nobody else is saying it. He didn't hear it from anybody else. He just made it up.
He just made it up, yeah. What do you fear most about Project 2025, Arnold?
Everything. I haven't read any of it yet, but it's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's very scary because it could take away your ability to have an abortion.
I can't have an abortion, Brad, because I'm a man.
Don't give
But
yourself short.
Not to say that men can't have abortions.
It's their choice, right? So Nate wants to know if Arnold has to renounce kindergarten cop for boys have a penis and girls have a vagina. That's clearly disinformation that you've been spreading for almost 3 decades now.
Well, like I said, what was the viewer's name?
That's Nate that asked the question.
First, I want to say thank you, Nate, for being a fan. Secondly, I'd like to say, like I said, I've seen the error of my ways, and I wouldn't say that boys have penises and girls have vaginas. I might say people have the reproductive organ that they think they associate with.
Right. And they can just, how does it work, though, if it's prolapsed and inverted?
Science works in many, many fascinating ways. Science works in weird ways is what I like to say.
Yeah, it's very insightful. I don't know how you became governor of California. I guess that state.
I was
really
elected
kind of
governor.
I know you were elected, but
through a democratic process.
You can't even speak English.
I'm speaking English right now.
Nate also wants to know who is your daddy and what does he do?
Oh, my father was a Nazi.
Okay, Mr. Schwarzenegger. I think that's all the information that we needed.
That's it. That's the whole interview right here.
Yeah, I think we got everything we needed out of you. I appreciate that admission.
You don't want any other comments or anything.
Do you denounce your father?
Oh, I loved my father for who he was, but I don't love all of his choices. Because that makes him like Trump.
Oh, so your dad? So you wouldn't vote for your dad? You'd vote for Kamala if your dad was running.
Oh yes, I'd definitely vote for Kamala over my father.
So Trump is your daddy.
And what does he do?
Yeah.
What does he do for any of us? What did he do for his 4 years?
He's just out for himself, right?
He's all out for himself. He says that people eat dogs and cats. What's he going to say next? That fit people eat pizza. He thinks McDonald's is good for you. He says a lot of crazy things like we shouldn't let black people into the country.
Which you agree with, right?
I mean, I don't completely disagree with him. There's policies he has that I do agree with. I said, I'm a Republican, but I like the old Republican Party.
Yeah, you're a Cheney Republican.
Yeah, I've made a lot of movies based off of war. I want more wars.
We have a comment here from Sonia. Says that her brother used to see you at the gym and was very disappointed in what he saw.
What? Because I got older?
I don't know.
I will ask what he was disappointed about.
What was he disappointed in? We'll find out. Says she loves your acting, but don't like that you're a dumbass dude. That you're a wuss, though.
I'm not a wuss.
You're a wuss.
I'm not a wuss. I was the original man's man.
Yeah.
You know, which I don't like to say anymore. You know, because men can be girly boys. You know.
Right. Yeah, of course they can if they choose to. So if Kamala was in a hurry and there was a helicopter just across the
I'd say get to the chopper, Kamala. Get to it now.
Yeah, that'll be your role in the administration. You snap her out of her.
Yeah, she could make me her personal secret security agent.
Yeah, now that would be a movie right there, and you guys could have a love affair. And
I'd definitely have an affair with Kamala.
Yeah, you get it. You would with Tim Walz probably as well.
You know, the couple between the three of us would be really hard.
Grumpy makes a good point. Sylvester Stallone is more of a man than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, you know, Sly, he's got some good qualities about him, but you know, I was first. You know, he directed not that there's anything wrong with musicals, but he directed Saturday Night Fever too.
Yeah, I mean that was a good movie.
Staying Alive, I think is what it was called.
When are you going to quit with the Terminators already? You peaked at 2.
I mean, you know, we probably have about 5 or 6 still in us.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be doing it till I'm 90.
Would you like to give a final message for your endorsement for Kamala? You want to tell people to vote, or what do you want to do? You got a few days before the election.
If you're sick of being the butt of the joke, if you're sick of being the problem, you know, vote for Kamala Harris because it'll make you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, okay. Good. So vote for Kamala. You'll feel better about yourself. Thank you for joining us.
If you're white, vote for Kamala. And remember, fuck your rights.
Yeah.
Fuck your rights, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck the Constitution.
There's your slogan. Yeah.
Fuck the Constitution.
Yeah. All right.
Fuck your rights.
You're a Republican.
Yeah,
well,
I'm a Republican. I believe that we should have a gigantic government.
Yeah, put that on a bumper sticker. Fuck your rights. Fuck your free speech. And you know, maybe Mr. Trump will pop in at some point later in the show, and I don't know. He listens. Maybe he gives us a rebuttal to what you say. I have no idea.
He's just a fat pig who eats way too many cheeseburgers.
Yep, but he's got Melania. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, his wife is really hot. You know,
yeah.
if she was my maid, you know, the things that I do to her.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would. All right, Mr. Schwarzenegger, thank you for joining us, and come back and talk to us again sometime. Go take a shower.
Oh yeah, this was wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on your show, Brad.
All right, we'll see you later.
You know, hey, I love you.
I don't like you.
I love you.
I love you too. I shouldn't be rude to you. You're a guest on my show. I apologize.
All right, goodbye, Pat's listeners.
Yes, all right. See you later.
Come see my next movie. Look at the face that I'm making in the picture.
Okay, well, that was Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the first time I've talked to him. We did an email exchange. Interesting character, and I should have asked him what his thoughts on Jocelyn were. Nate, we'll have to do that next time. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do that next time because I bet Jocelyn would be a perfect mate for him. Okay, moving on to some more stories. And Arnold did endorse her today, which I was looking up some stuff about Arnold. I was trying to find a picture of Arnold in a ball gag to make the main image because I feel like you become a white dude for Harris, you get a ball gag in the mail with Harris Waltz 24 on it. And I found this article about all these movie props and how much they're worth. Apparently somebody recently bought the ball gag from Pulp Fiction from the GIMP for $1,000. He bought a ball gag for $1,000. Like a 30-year-old ball gag. And he hopes that by the next couple years, it'll be worth $25,000. I think if you just bought that ball gag from somebody for $1,000, I don't know that you're going to see that much appreciation. How do you even verify it's the Pulp Fiction ball gag? I don't know that there's a way to do that. I think he got ripped off personally. Who goes after that, too? He's like, I got to have that Pulp Fiction GIMP ball gag. I need that leather suit. So Whoopi Goldberg on, I haven't seen this whole clip. I've seen like pieces of it because people have been playing it out of context. So I'm going to play it. We'll watch it together. Whoopi was talking about who Trump's going to deport. So these people genuinely believe that, a lot of people do. I've told y'all about the old lady, this nice old lady in her 70s who thinks that she's going to have to flee the country because Trump is going to round up old widows, old white widow ladies when he's president. I'm going after the old ladies. I don't know that it's going to happen, but there's a lot of people like that. And what's her name? Whoopi is fueling that with comments that she made on The View talking about how Trump is like going to take away your brown spouses and give you a white one because he's going to deport all the brown and black people if he's elected. Is she serious? Is Whoopi serious in any of this? Are any of these people serious? There she is. I liked Whoopi on Star Trek. I liked her in, what was the Nun movie? I liked her in that, too. Don't like her on this. No, hold on here.
With people we don't agree with. I've not been a fan of this man's. I don't like how he talks to us. I don't like how he talks to the nation. Mm-hmm. So I have not really had much to say until he started running for president. Mm-hmm. Then I could say everything I needed to say. My face said everything.
That was a good side eye.
Didn't you say you disliked him from even before that when you first?
People in The View used to love Trump before he ran. I can't remember. I think Whoopi was on there. They used to welcome him in before he was president or running for president.
Had an encounter with him?
Well, he's been in New York forever. He's a New York person and been a New York character. But that being a character on television is a lot different than being the president of the United States, because what you can't do and what they did for years, which is why people got up and
Ronald Reagan
said, you can't talk to me like this anymore. You can't talk about me like this anymore. And people said, oh, you're woke. We have never been asleep. No one's ever let us sleep because we've had to keep, because we've had to keep reminding people that women don't want to be spoken down to. Gay folks don't want to be spoken down to. Straight folks don't want to be spoken to. People don't want to be spoken down to. They don't want to be made fun of. Get a better gig. If you're a comic, be funnier. Find a different way than to come after people because of their heritage, which they are born into. It is not a choice. You are who you are.
Sticking up
and here you're going to make all kind of fun. People said no more. We're tired of that. That's why people are saying, right, that you heard the women say, listen, what we heard at that rally should be enough to shake folks awake, because he's talking about you, all of you.
This is so stupid.
Talking about you, it's us. He's not going to say, oh, you're with a white guy, I'm going to keep you from being deported. No, he's going to deport you and put the white guy with someone else. The man is out there.
He's also, can I just mention?
So is that a joke? Maybe that's the joke that she's doing, because we're talking about not understanding jokes. Is she attempting to make a joke there when she says, you think you were the white person? Like Trump is going to, under this logic, Trump's going to get elected and he's going to say, JD, I have to make an example of you. Your wife goes, don't worry, I'm going to pair you with a nice white lady. Maybe she's joking there. She doesn't deliver it like a joke, and she doesn't let it land like a joke. She lets it land like she's trying to genuinely convince viewers that that's true. And I would never have thought that had I not met a lady personally who was in her 70s, who's white, probably wealthy, who genuinely thinks Trump is going to go after her. It's because people like this drive them crazy. Grumpy says white men don't want to be spoken down to. Well, I don't know that Whoopi would agree with that. Ted Danson might have wanted to be spoken down to. It's just, everybody's seen the Ted Danson blackface thing. We've all seen it. It's just, even pointing it out anymore, it's like it doesn't even matter, the hypocrisy of it. It's like, well, we didn't know back then. We didn't know. And she's sitting there saying, people don't want to be made fun of. Literally what Kill Tony does, what he is known for, is doing a roast show where a panel of seasoned comics roast brand new comics. That's literally the show. People go there to be made fun of. People go there to watch people being made fun of. And here, Whoopi, a comic who's made fun of plenty of people, we don't want to be made fun of. I mean, she doesn't need a career anymore. I guess. I mean, I doubt she still does stand-up. It'd be funny to run into Whoopi at an open mic. Doing all her, I don't know what material she do. Some people think it's too serious right now to joke about things. I realize that. Like we're too serious of times to joke. Well, the gesture, the gesture, I can't even say it because I'm retarded. The jester was always there, regardless of the times. You have to make fun of this stuff. It's so ridiculous. They suck the humor and the life out of people. Make people think they can't even joke because it's so... Every election is the biggest election of our lifetime. Every single election I can remember has been the biggest one of our lifetime. There will be one biggest one of our lifetime, but when you call all of them that, who knows? It's all vote or die. They're going to take your brown wife and they're going to put you with a white one, and you don't like white women. You like those big black asses. That black ass is going back to Africa when Trump gets here, and you're getting a Taylor Swift ass because Trump's got white ladies lined up for all us whiteys. Woo! Nazi!
I usually don't respond to him when he comes after me. It feels like punching down. But he keeps lying about me, and I do want to correct this. He keeps referring to, I wrote him secret love letters of some sort. I don't write love letters to dictators or aspiring dictators.
Grumpy says, I should get my CDL so that I can drive the truck back and forth to the border. That's funny. Okay, enough of those people. It's theater. It's all theater. We all know that. I don't even know what happened here, but I had this up on my screen. Biden, eating a baby? Was Biden eating somebody's baby today? Is that what this is? You guys see this? It looks, what the hell is he doing? Apparently Joe Biden is biting babies at the Waffle House. Well, okay, so he's biting the leg. This is not new, actually. I mean, the image might be new, but this is what Biden does when he sees babies. I mean, this isn't the first creepy image of Biden putting his mouth on a stranger's baby that we've seen. And this woman offering her baby up. What is she doing? What is she doing offering her baby up? He's biting it like this baby's a chicken wing. He's biting on this thing. Look at that kid. Look at that kid's face. Look at that kid. That kid is having trauma is happening right now. That is trauma being processed. The kid's got his hand on Joe's head. Like, what is this thing? Is that kid wearing rubber kitchen gloves, cleaning gloves on its feet? Am I seeing that wrong? What the hell is going on here? Why would Reuters post this photo? What's wrong with that? I hope that woman knows him. I hope she's just not eat my baby. I mean, is this an abortion? Is this what this is? Is this an abortion happening right here? Maybe. I don't know. All right. Where else we got here? It's it's a chicken costume. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes. 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 Thank you. I'm just a little tired, Groby, so I'm a little loopy, so I get a little unrestrained. They're eating the babies. The Democrats are eating the babies. Yeah, the kitchen glove is part of a chicken costume. So very creative costume put together by the mom. Let me put together a costume for my baby instead of buying it one. I creatively put together a costume for my tiny baby so I can then go make a sacrificial offering of my baby to President Biden. Get rid of Arnold there. All right. So the election-related fear-mongering stories, I've been covering these stories every single day. The burning ballots they're having every day. The stolen ballots they have. There's a couple more today. Fear-mongering stories. This one is fun. I can't even read this. Machete-wielding teen arrested after group accused of intimidating Democratic supporters at Florida polling station, police say. Well, hold on. All right, I'll go through this story with a guest that just popped in. I have no idea. I didn't really think you'd be here. Mr. President, I had no idea. I thought maybe you were listening, but I didn't have my hopes up.
Brad, I tuned in just in time to hear that I was a fat cheeseburger guzzling Nazi.
Yep.
From a man who told us all to fuck our rights, during the
you're like his dad, he said.
Oh yeah. I'm a lot like his Nazi dad.
So you're not a Nazi,
or whatever. Yeah. I'm a huge Nazi, Brad. Huge Nazi.
Yeah. What about the controversy with the stand-up comedian, the roast comedian, making the joke at your rally this past couple days ago?
I can't control what others say, Brad. It's not in me to censor these people or control people's thoughts. I'm not the left. I'm not the thought police, Brad.
We have a request for you, Mr. President? If you can see on screen there.
It's hard to.
So, what would you say if you saw Biden with a baby's leg in his mouth like it's a chicken wing?
I'd be worried that they were going to sacrifice that chicken to Moloch.
We have a request for you to say they're eating the babies, just similar to how you said they're eating.
I wouldn't put it past me if Democrats are eating babies, especially the elitist Democrats. That's all part of a secret, terrible cabal.
Could you give us so they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the babies? Maybe add that to the.
They're eating
slogan.
The cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the babies.
Yeah, and that you show that picture of Biden.
But I don't think it's the Haitians eating the babies, though, Brad. I think it's the elitist Democrats. I think it's the Diddies and the Schwarzeneggers and the Kamalas and Bidens of the world who sold their souls to Satan.
So you think this is a satanic ritual?
I've been saying that this is the darkest final war. This is the final battle for a reason.
Right. So you're getting back into Q. The storm is coming type stuff. It sounds like to me.
This is the stuff that I've always been saying.
Right. So JFK Jr. is alive, and you're gonna get Vance out.
I never said that, Brad. I never said that.
No, some people have alluded to it.
There's a big difference between Q and the Anons. It's not QAnon.
Well, Mr. President, I'm going to go through some stories here, and you want to hang out and comment and weave it into your final campaign, like you have about.
I do a lot of weaving, Brad.
I know you do that weave on Rogan.
That was a perfect weave.
So this story relates to you. Let me show you this, because these are your supporters here that did this, Mr. President. There's a story here of these kids. This is in This is in Florida. An 18-year-old was arrested, and there was like 4 17-year-olds that were not arrested. But apparently, the way the headline makes it seem, it says machete-wielding teen arrested after group accused of intimidating Democratic supporters at Florida polling station, police say. What impression does that headline leave you with, Mr. President, if you're just a passerby?
It sounds awful, and I don't condone violence, Brad. I don't condone violence. I want this to be a peaceful transfer of power when it happens.
Well, what stands out to me is that they kind of make it seem to people who aren't paying that close of attention, like, why isn't that up there anymore? Like, there was people with a machete walking up to people waiting in line to vote, is what the context of it kind of makes it feel like. But you can't be promoting any candidate, campaigning for anyone within 150 feet of the polling sites and the drop boxes in Florida. And has to be clear barriers. So what this was these were sign holders for the Harris campaign and or Antifa people who I know from firsthand experience will get in your face and shout at you for literally doing nothing. And the kids that came up were 18-year-olds who were carrying MAGA flags. And as you can see here, where is this kid? This kid pulled out a machete. Look at that. You condone that behavior, Mr. President?
I just said that I don't condone violence, Brad.
Well, you know how they described him pulling out this machete? Let me find
Like
the
a
exact way.
conquistador?
Yeah, he's a conquistador who came. These kids came probably to make a TikTok video messing with Democrats. And how the police describe it is they say the group approached opposing sign waivers, so they must have had signs, and an argument developed between the two sides before Williams, which is this kid here, brandished a machete in an aggressive, threatening posture over his head. Now, and then it says, the department has released an image of this moment. This is the image of that moment they released. Does this look like an aggressive, threatening posture to you? It's a kid.
He's got a big smile on his hair, on his face.
Not grumpy.
Some goofy looking hair, you know.
Yeah, it looks like he's fucking with people, and he's got braces. And the police, there's the machete. It's an old machete, and the police officer made sure to say that your First Amendment rights are gone when you pull a machete out. Well, I say, what if you don't have any cardboard or poster board, and you write your slogan on your machete? We're not going back on your machete. Is that not protected under the First Amendment? I would think so. Grumpy says good night, Mr. President.
Who says that?
Grumpy.
Oh, good night, Grumpy. You have sweet dreams. Love that, Grumpy.
Yeah. Here's how the cop described this little incident. If I can.
Our patrol officers responded to an armed person with a machete call at the Beaches Branch Library, which serves as an early voting precinct at the beach. The units arrived and found 8 young males, 7 of which were juveniles and 1 adult male, inside the parking lot of the polling location. The investigation revealed that the group arrived to protest and antagonize. Caleb James Williams, he's 18 years of age, of Neptune Beach, brandished a machete in an aggressive, threatening posture over his head. The group was there for no other reason but for ill intentions to cause a disturbance.
Was that not the same purpose the protesters were there for? I mean, I've seen the Harris Walls protesters.
What about when they threw all those bricks and smoke grenades at Trump supporters? Who was arrested then?
That probably wasn't the Harris Walls supporters. That might have been Antifa.
No, this was back. It was
a while ago.
You know, a few years ago.
This kid is an idiot. He was trying to get a viral moment with a machete to fuck with people.
Most kids are idiots.
But but it wasn't threatening, and those people were also yelling at him. He knew what he was getting into, and he should be punished, not severely. But the way this cop is talking about it, like he stopped a mass murder. Like this kid was about to start. That's the dullest machete I've ever seen in my life.
Voting in our country is one of the most sacred and protected rights we have.
This is a white dude for Harris speaking.
Ensuring everyone's right to vote is crucial, and it will not be impeded upon in Neptune Beach or Duval County. This goes way beyond expressing freedom of speech. To say your piece is your First Amendment protected right, but that goes out the window the moment you raise a machete over your head in a threatening manner.
Yeah. So some breaking news, and this is off of X status. So I don't know if this has been corroborated, but Denver posted a link that says, after reviewing the qualified voter file of votes actually cast as of yesterday, October 29th, the database identifies 100,014,554 Michigan voters who have cast 279,113 ballots from multiple addresses across the state, resulting in 164,568 excesses as of yesterday. And so here's whether that's true or not. It could be true because our election system is set up in a way where this could very well happen. If somebody wanted to make that happen, because they have prevented all of the voter integrity rules from going through. And I have another story. That's crazy. Yeah, I wonder. So with stories like this, I'm always hesitant to presume they're true because it's so on the nose here. I know that could happen because of everything that Garland's talked to us about, but it almost seems like bait. Like it will happen, but at that scale, it feels like bait that can be debunked, that they're like ready to debunk, so they can then, after it's debunked, try and discredit people who spread it. It's definitely interesting, though. So it says Lord Trump, Republican National Committee co-chair, stated, "We immediately investigated and have confirmed that it was a glitch in the system. These duplicates will not be counted." That's what the community note says. Whatever. It's like crazy because this could happen wherever. I mean, they can hack. The passwords for the Dominion machines are known to everyone. It's the same password for all the machines. And all you need is the hacking skills to hack into Microsoft, which I don't have those, but a lot of people do. And you have Dominion voting systems that haven't been updated in 4 years. Imagine not upgrading or updating your computer or phone in 4 years. It'd just be, you wouldn't be able to operate it because there'd be so much malware on it. And once they get in, people who have those basic hacking skills with that password that is the same, these people wore the password on their shirt to prove a point at this state election board meeting. Once you get in with that and you have that password, you can then flip votes and you can leave without there being any trace that you were ever there. And they've done nothing to secure that. And they tell you these things are secure. They're not secure. They're not even close to secure. It's been proven over and over again. And another story that will make you have no faith in elections, which I doubt anybody listening to this show really does anyway. Michigan, this one's funny. Michigan clerk removed from election duty over plans for a hand count of the ballot. They removed him from his position because he had secret plans to hand count the ballots. How evil. What are you going to be for Halloween? I'm going to be a hand counter of the ballots. And they forcibly made this guy leave. What was his position? Here it is. So his name's Tom Skiznik. He's the clerk of the Rock River Township in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. And his deputy, David Lemire, were both removed after telling state officials that they intend to hand count ballots before sending their tally on to for the county canvass. This is according to a letter that Michigan's election director was sent. So this feels like a standoff. It feels like these guys who are in poll worker or election worker, whatever they're called, positions, were confronted by this elections director. Said, "Hey, we heard that you guys are thinking about putting your hands on these ballots that are only supposed to be touched by these computers." And they said, "Yeah, no, we plan on hand counting these ballots. What are you going to do about it?" He said, "Well, we're going to get you out of here. It's your last chance." And then they went over and forcibly removed them, and they took them away from their position because they're saying they're tied to activists across the country who have spread, quote, baseless theories about corruption in elections. Baseless theories about corruptions in elections? Could we be a little more specific here? This is the New York Times, this article. They're connected to groups who have advocated the hand counting of ballots. They write this like this is some shadowy evil thing. They had to make them step down because they were connected to groups who advocated the hand counting of ballots, apparently believing the electronic voting machines are insecure. That's what the New York Times article says. Apparently believing that the voting machines that everybody knows who's paying attention are insecure. They're tied to groups who recognize the reality in front of them. They must be removed. And it says here, New York Times, Donald J. Trump and his allies spread the idea widely that voting machines or insecure after his defeat in 2020, falsely, that the machines had changed votes to Biden. That's actually not false. That's actually been proven in Coffee County, Georgia. That's proven. It's not even in dispute, but the judges then said, I don't want any part of this, and they prevented a further inspection from happening. The original deal was we show that these votes have been flipped in Coffee County, then you will allow us to look at other counties. And they showed it, and the judge said, I don't want to be killed. I'm going to go ahead and find a process or procedure reason to boot this case. That's what happened. This is blatantly false. It said here that this guy, Mr. Brader, ordered that Mr. Schrecknick and his deputy were to hand over their election duties to other local officials in order to ensure public trust and confidence in the integrity and security of the elections. I'm just imagining him saying, leave your badge and your clipboard on my desk. Your badge and your clipboard. Your hands aren't touching these damn voter rolls anymore. Your badge and your voter rolls on my desk. So there's another. And it says here from a spokeswoman of the Michigan Secretary of State's office, who I presume is a Democrat. It speaks to the efforts that we are not going to tolerate any attempts to circumvent the law. They're talking about hand counting ballots. I mean, this is so crazy. All of this, it's like they're talking about cutting someone's guts out with a machete. But they're not. They're talking about it speaks to the efforts that we're not going to tolerate any attempts to verify machine counts using our own human hands. Evil, evil stuff. We're not going to tolerate any attempts at election integrity. Yes, thank you, Stoner. Smash that like button. You know, I did have Fat Shack. I had the wings, and I can't remember what else I had. I think I had wings and a salad. The wings were good. I will be a repeat customer. So, Mr. Trump, do you have any thoughts on forcing or making such a big deal like it's a criminal act to count with the hands?
I mean, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. You know, computers aren't perfect. You know, they can be designed to make mistakes. You know, there's already been a situation that I heard of.
So they can be designed to make mistakes, the computer?
Yeah.
Like back doors can be left open, you know?
Absolutely. You know, like they
kind of like those boys you like?
The boy, you talking about the Proud Boys?
Yeah, Proud Boys. Feds.
You know, they use those same Dominion machines to topple small governments.
Right. But then they do, actually. They all over the world. Like, we steal and mess with elections all over the world. Why wouldn't we be doing it here? 7-6 Los Angeles, Groby. Has Freddie Freeman homered again yet, I wonder? So is this woman, Tina Peters, Greg, on Rockfin, is that who got, like, years in prison, like the 60-year-old woman who was trying to show that the machines are hackable? It was in Arizona or something I'm thinking about. I might be getting some of the details wrong, but they're doing more than just taking away people's badges and their voter roll access. They're putting them in prison for showing how vulnerable our election systems are. It's really kind of crazy.
I mean, the CIA is a powerful thing. You know, Kennedy wanted to disband the CIA.
I know. You know, speaking of which, what's up with you calling, what's his name? Who was the head of the CIA that you made the attorney general? What was his name? You told Rogan that he was a good guy who told you not to release all the Kennedy files.
What are you asking there?
I'm trying to figure out what the guy's name was that you called a good guy to Rogan.
Mike Pompeo?
Mike Pompeo. Yeah, you told Rogan Mike Pompeo is a good guy, and that Mike Pompeo told you not to release all the Kennedy files. What's up with that, dude? He's not a good guy.
Well, you know, there's good guys on both sides, Brett. All
right, one more quick story. Well, no, I think that's all the election-related stories. except for the U.S. Capitol, and this is all I have on this. They conducted an exercise was it last night? Yeah, last night.
Oh yeah, to evacuate.
Yeah, U.S. Capitol Police and their federal partners conducting a routine training exercise on the grounds of the U.S. Capitol. Please do not be alarmed if you see emergency vehicle and low-flying helicopters. And apparently it's, what do they call this exercise? It's designed to get injured people from one building to another quickly, or one spot to another quickly during warfare. So they're preparing for a battle scene at the Capitol with this training.
Exfiltrate?
No, it's called a casualty evacuation exercise. That's what it's called. So planning.
There's not much casual about evacuating.
Yeah, like a death evacuation exercise, wounded evacuation exercise. Rid of that. All right.
It's probably because they want to hold on to it when I win.
Maybe. I love this
They say
story.
it's going to take 60 days to figure it out.
That's what some of them say. I don't know. I'm starting to flip. I don't know what I think is going to happen yet. I think there's a number of ways.
Have you voted, Brad?
I have not. I've not voted yet. I'm not going to vote for well, I might write somebody in. I might write in. I might write in Force Mommy.
I've been waiting for your endorsement, Brad.
No, you haven't.
You're a Trump guy. You're not a Kamala guy,
Mr.
Brad.
President,
Come on.
you don't need my
I'm waiting for your endorsement, Brad. You and Joe Rogan.
Yeah. No, and you also had a boner for Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, like Stoner points out. But then you kind of, Pompeo wanted to kill him after that.
Assange is a hero,
So the other one was that these voters in Cobb County, which actually where I am now, where I moved to, they sent out the wrong polling precincts to everybody. And they said, we regret this error and we're working to distribute the correct information via social media, their website. So how are people going to find out if they don't see this? They're just going to go to the wrong place and they might be screwed.
Brad, I feel bad that your Cobb County Braves aren't the ones playing my Yankees.
Oh, you like the Yankees and not the Mets, Mr. President?
I like all New York teams.
Check this story out here. You can't like all. You got to choose Mets or Yankees. You can't do all of them.
Well, you got to choose between me and Kamala.
It's the lesser of two evils, like the World Series right now. So look at this headline. Fire department is sorry for KKK costumes at Halloween dance party. To be referred to as racist hurts bad. That's what does that even mean? 4 people were seen wearing white sheets and pointed hood and photos shared on social. There it is right there. Here's the photo. This is the fire station party. You see that? Look at that. Look how excited these. Now that one could be a ghost. These could arguably be ghosts, right? Or are these definitely Klan members?
They could be ghosts.
So I love the response from the this is in Canada, where Trudeau, he's blackface Trudeau. It says the Canadian Fire Department had to deny allegations of racism and apologize after images circulated of individuals who attended the department's Halloween party dressed as members of the KKK. 4 people said to be unaffiliated with the fire department were seen wearing white sheets with KKK's signature pointed hood and photos shared across social media as reported by CBC News. So not affiliated. They're unaffiliated with the fire department, but they're in the party. So it's like, we had one rule. The one rule is you wear a costume, you get in. Can't break the rules. It's nothing we could do that they were dressed like Klan members. It's funny. It's an interesting way of distancing when they're clearly inside. They might as well have a burning cross with. There's like nobody else at this party. Oh, they do have a fucking cross. Look at that. They actually have a cross. There's nobody else there, though. This is the party. That is crazy.
Looks like a pretty lame party to me.
This one looks like a chick on the far end. These are probably white dudes for Harris. This is probably Doug Emhoff, Tim Walz, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Kamala Harris underneath those sheets. If you're going to have Klan members at your Halloween party, maybe take up everybody's phone and say no photos. It says Deputy Fire Chief Wade of the North Sydney Firefighters Club wrote in a Facebook post following the incident that the incident is not who we are or what we stand for. No, they didn't wear the Klan. What if somebody's in a fire and the firemen show up dressed in Klan outfit, but they're still going to go in and save you? Do you let them save you? Or what if these firefighters go to a fire, they go in, and there's 4 Klan members huddled up about to be burned to death? Do the firefighters turn around and walk away, or do they prove that they're racist? Which one is it?
I think in that situation, Brad, the Klan probably accidentally set the place on fire trying to figure out how to burn crosses.
Well, yeah, or trying to frame firefighters who save their lives as racists. I mean, can you imagine carrying a Klan? You're a big firefighter. You're running through the flames. All these people are ready to cheer you. Yay, you saved whoever. And they're ready to clap. And then you run out with a guy in a full Klan outfit. Yay. Maybe some of it. But Stoner here says, damn it, there goes my Halloween costume ideas. Yeah, you can still do it better. I feel like they half-assed this. Don't they usually have like...
They got big designs on the back.
Oh, you have a lot of knowledge.
Oh, there was that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
Yeah. You're a big fan of Curb, even though he's not a big fan of you.
You know, I love Larry David. He's a funny guy, you know, and I know how to take my shots.
Is that why you put RFK on, you're working with him because his wife works on that show?
No. I like RFK for many, many other reasons. You know, he's just a stand-up guy.
All right. Get through this, and then we're going to go to the ex-girlfriend day thing and then get out of here. I have some fun stuff that I think that you'll react to well, Mr. President. But it says here that he says that none of the members of his fire department and himself were part of it, and they're sorry from the bottom of their heart, and they never intentionally meant to hurt or insult anyone, regardless of race, color, orientation, or religion. You know, people are hurt because of the picture, right? If somebody wants to dress up like that, who fucking cares? You know, most people are going to run away from it.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, Brad. I'm sure there's a lot of people that might care.
Well, but what I'm saying is, people who dress like this and go somewhere are going to repulse people. It's not like people are going to go, okay, yeah, let me get mine. I've just been waiting to see a couple guys with a Klan hood on so I could put mine on and feel better about it. It's not going to happen that way. People are going to be like, get the fuck out of here. Unless you're the fire department here. So it says here the individuals in the costumes that they walked in after being admitted by volunteers. So they must not have told. It was the volunteers' fault. They didn't have a list of rules. They didn't say no Klan member outfits. What about blackface? What if you pull off the Klan hoods and they're in blackface? Is that like a double crime? People have a right to be offensive. People can be people can say racist shit and be offensive, and they learn when they get socially ostracized. That's
social justice. Social justice. We have to hold ourselves accountable, right? We don't need the government trying to hold us accountable for what we do or say.
Right. It's like a stand-up comedy. If it's like the social group is like a stand-up comedy audience in this, right? Where these people think they're being funny. They go to this party. Nobody wants to talk to them or hang out with them. Nobody, people like think they're kind of weird after doing that. And they will be like, hey, I think maybe we shouldn't do the KKK thing again next year. Maybe that was a step too far.
Or maybe they'll double down on it.
Or maybe they're just recruiting. I have no idea. They could double down. You're right. So, finally, MAGA cap caused a fight on British Airways. 2 women were removed from a British Airways fight at Heathrow on Saturday after they got into a fist fight over a red Make America Great Again cap that one of them was wearing. Apparently, so these chicks were 40 and 60 years old. I don't know which was which. I can't find a story that tells me which was wearing the MAGA hat. But the fight started in the terminal while they were waiting to get on board when one of the women walked up to the other and demanded that she take off the MAGA cap. And this is what the article said. But the Trump supporter allegedly refused, and punches were exchanged in front of passengers in the airport terminal. They write that as though, how dare the Trump supporter refuse to take the hat off?
You shouldn't have to take your hat off.
Who gives it? It's a fucking hat, man. I don't go starting fights with Georgia Bulldog hats.
I talked to some people once who the guy was a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine, but he was no longer serving or active. But a friend of his in Boston, I believe, wore just a red cap, nothing on it.
Right.
And the bar flipped out. But due to the fact that these guys were all former cops or former Marines.
Were they provoking people because they know how to fight? Is that what they were doing?
No, he just wore a red cap.
Yeah.
And
well, it's risky. Right.
These people lost their minds and they beat the hell out of them. And then when the police showed up,
I just can't imagine.
The police allowed the former Marine and cop to leave.
There's not a article of clothing that exists that would trigger me so badly that I would need to fist fight someone. At least not that I can think of. There's no hat. I just can't imagine being so enraged. You're about to get on a plane to go do something, and your entire afternoon and everybody else on that plane's afternoon is derailed. The flight was delayed for 2 hours because these two women, after they already threw fist in the terminal, were then both allowed to board the plane, and they were both sitting in the same section. And so the brawl then picked back up, and they were fighting on the plane over the hat.
Well, it sounds to me like the indoctrinated, brainwashed leftist is the one who provoked the fight.
That's kind of what it sounds like to me as well. Thank you, Stoner, for the tip. I appreciate that. They waited 2 hours to remove them. The pilot waited 2 hours. So they got police these women were bickering and cussing at each other for 2 hours because nobody would intervene and take them out until police got there. So you're sitting on a runway in a plane expecting to be going, I think it was going to Texas, halfway to Texas. But you're nowhere because two women are fighting because one of them was asked to take off a MAGA hat and the other one, threw fist because she wouldn't take it off. I mean, how pissed would you be?
I'll tell you though. I mean, depends. It could have been a real sexy cat fight,
You real to a 60-year-old and a 40-year-old just ripping each other's clothes off. Could have been.
Yeah, just ripping each other's clothes off.
How old's Melania now?
A lady never tells her age, so I never asked.
Really? Yeah, I tell you what. When she came out the other day at Madison Square Garden to Guns N' Roses, Paradise City. Boy, oh boy, Mr. President. You give me a run at her?
Oh, yeah, she's not. I've told you, Brad. I've told you. I got to be out of the picture.
Well, you don't have to be there. I don't want you to be there. That'd be weird.
Nah, I got to be out of the picture completely.
Yeah, wow. That's unfortunate. Because I don't want anything to happen to you. But, I feel like Melania deserves...
I mean, that sounds kind of like an endorsement, Brad. You want to just go ahead and endorse me?
If I endorse you, will you give me a run at Melania?
After I'm out of the picture?
No, you got it. You don't have to be out of the picture.
That's
we'll
not
negotiate.
How endorsements work. It seems like you're blackmailing me.
All right. Well, if you make good on your promise to give me Ivanka, which you haven't done yet, okay. All right. Who's your daddy and what does he do? That was a question posed earlier.
He was a real estate mogul, and he gave me $1 million.
Small loan. I remember you
very
called it
small loan. $1 million isn't really a lot of money, Brad.
You're middle class. You grew up appreciating lawns and working at McDonald's. You can tell people you grew up working at McDonald's now. I got my first job at McDonald's when I was 79. So here's what this says. Yeah. It says here in this article that neither woman was arrested. They were the police escorted them off while they were hurling swears at each other, and that a Heathrow source said that with the U.S. presidential election so close, tensions are sky high. The airline crew could not run the risk of a full-scale punch-up at 30,000 feet, and that the officials cannot recall a flight ever being delayed before due to a passenger's baseball cap.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We apologize to customers. Yeah, they should fucking apologize to them. So, did you know that today, it's still today, it was National Texture X Day?
I didn't know that until you and Mr. Schwarzenegger talked about it.
Well, National Text Your Ex Day is a day that became like a holiday or a day to celebrate back in the early 2010s by, they don't have a person who did it. They say it happened on social media. And they say it's just been celebrated for about 15 years now. And so I was just thinking, what do you text your ex if you text do you text your ex on this day? What do you text your ex? Do you try and see if you can get back in there if both of you are available? Is it an insult? Is it a reminder of the torture? There's a lot of ways to go with it. So I'm wondering what you guys in the chats, if you were to text your ex on National Text Your Ex Day, what you would send them, any of them. And depending on how many exes you have, you might be texting all day. But I did ask ChatGTP for a few types of text to see if it could help us out. I'll read a few of the answers that they gave me. I won't give you the prompts. I'll just give
Brad,
you the...
before you get into this, I got to go back to trying to save the world.
Oh, you're out?
Yeah, I got to, I'm running a campaign here.
Well, what would you text your exes before you leave?
Well, unfortunately, I can't text Ivana. And if I had to text Horseface, I'd tell her to go fuck herself.
All right. Well, there you go. All right, Mr. President, thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Brad. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Go meet up with Arnold. Goodbye. Wow. A couple of guests today. It was great. I'm going to just tell you what ChatGTP gave me for texting your ex on National Text Your Ex Day. Here's one. Hey, it's National Text Your Ex Day. Funny how things are hard to forget when I think about you. How have you been? That's a bit of a retarded one. Here's another one. Funny thought. Remember the last time we couldn't stop laughing? I wonder if we'd still have that same chemistry. So it's emphasizing chemistry because it's trying to use innuendo. Because I asked for innuendo, and I don't think it understands innuendo. Random question. This is the text to your ex. Ever feel like some old habits are just hard to shake off? Which I would add. Oh, then they added a smiley face with a licking emoji. I would add a cucumber with the mouth open emoji, I think, would really emphasize the point there. Those aren't no... This one's retarded. Today is as good a day as any to remember that you still owe me a rematch at everything, babe. ChatGTP is not very good. All right, so here's some where I asked it to. I said, what are some fire starting text to send to your ex on National Text Day? And here's some of the ones they came back with. Hey, it's National Text Your Ex Day. Funny how you always promised you'd never hurt me, and look where we are now. Nice job. Another one is, hey, just thinking about you, I honestly still can't believe how little I meant to you. Thanks for the reality check. That'd be pretty funny. Let's see. Here's another one, another text to your ex on National Text Your Ex Day. Do you even regret anything, or are you just going to pretend you did nothing wrong? Can you imagine texting that to somebody after like 5 or 10 years? How shocked they would be. Here's another one. Hey, I'm honestly amazed at how much time I wasted on someone who couldn't care less. These are like victim texts. Another one. Hey, it's National Text Your Ex Day. You know, it's wild how good you are at pretending to care. Really missed your calling as an actor. All right. Here's another one. Hey, just a heads up. I'm still dealing with the mess you left in my life. Thanks for that. Yeah, text that to your ex. See what they respond with. Here's another good one. Hey, it's National Text Your Ex Day. Just wanted to remind you that you're the reason I can't trust anyone. I like that one. All right. Let's see. A couple more here. They had a couple good ones in there. New phone, who dis? That's a good one. That is a good one. Hope you get rid of that lip fungus. That's a good one too. Especially if they have a lip fungus. Denver says, off topic, the KKK outfits reminded him of the Israel flag. The hat and the shape of the flag is it is kind of shaped the same. It would be funny if Bibi Netanyahu had a straight up Klan outfit on with the flag. Okay, here's a couple more texts from ChatGTP to use on National Text Your Ex Day. Hey, I'm outside your place. Thought I'd surprise you. Who's your daddy? What does he do? It's something to text your ex. I want you guys to try these and tell me what happens if anybody is willing to do it. Here's another one. Hey, it's National Text Your Ex Day. I've been talking to your mom lately. She still thinks we're meant to be. Oh, that's a very pathetic, sad text. All right. Here's another one. Hey, I often replay that time we made love under the stars. The way we connected made me feel so magical. That'd be a hilarious thing to text somebody after like 10 years of no contact. Here's another one. Reflecting on our time together, it's clear that your prudeness was a defining feature of our relationship. Thanks for the memorable times. Very sarcastic. All right, a couple more, and then I'm going to do one last thing. What was the prompt here? I think I prompted it. I think I told it to be passive-aggressive this time. I was trying to get it to be dirty, but ChatGTP doesn't like to be dirty. I did ask it. I did say, can you write 10 texts to text your ex on National Text Your Ex Day, insulting them in the style of Donald Trump? And it wouldn't do it. It refused to do it because I put Donald Trump in there. I could put insult. It would do it. Wouldn't do it if I put Donald Trump in there. Hey, it's National Text Your Ex Day. Just want to drop a line to say that I've moved on to better things. Things that aren't as loose as you. That's very risque for ChatGTP. Reflecting on our relationship today on National Text Your Ex Day, I can't help but remember how you thought you looked great when you clearly didn't. Quite the delusion. Thinking of all the times and you left me feeling disgusted on National Text Your Ex Day. All right. Happy National Text Your Ex Day. Reflecting on how unattractive you are inside and out really puts things into perspective. Enjoy being alone. That's not nice at all. There's got to be one more. It's better. Thinking about you today, and I can't help but remember how you always look so dirty and unkempt. It's no wonder people have a low opinion of you. I would love it if somebody had an ex who had tough enough skin to get a text like that. Actually, I don't want you to do that because it would hurt somebody's feelings, but it'd be very, very funny if that were like a sitcom. You know, and your ex is a really mean person. I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying tell me what the response is if you do. Hey, happy National Text Your Ex Day. I sometimes wonder if you even realize how out of shape you are. It must be tough living like that. Sounds like something Trump or RFK might say to somebody. Actually, this one sounds like one Trump would send. Hey, happy National Text Your Ex Day. Thinking about how dirty you always looked. It's no surprise that people see you as a failure. First impressions matter. I think that's it. I think that's all we're doing on that. All right, last one. Happy National Text Your Ex Day. You were the human equivalent of a participation trophy. Nice to have around, but nobody really wants you. Man, that's tough. All right. Happy Halloween, guys. It's almost Halloween. And one final story from the smoking gun. Love the smoking gun story. This one actually happened in Georgia. You can see the two perpetrators on screen there. These lipstick lesbians we're looking at. Headline: Women busted for having sex in public. Duo found, what's that? Tyresting? What's that word? I can't even. TR. Some words you'll find if you're new to the show I'm retarded about, and I have to look up the pronunciation because I get tongue-tied. I know what it means. They're having sex. It's just a unique way of saying it. Tristing. There you go. Is that right? Whatever. Duo found tristing in broad daylight. I love they put the question. In broad daylight, Georgia cops allege. And these are the two women here. So can you imagine stumbling upon these two women who look to be very rough? Like, it looks like they've done a lot of drugs, a lot of meth in their life. Interracial couple, though. What we know from today's show is that Trump will take the one on the right away and deport her and replace her with a white person, a white woman, to go with this methamphetamine addict, it looks like. Story says, meet Tisha Booth and Keisha Edom. Tisha and Keisha. The women were on a road trip to reconcile, so they had some problems in their relationship. Reconcile their relationship when they exited Interstate 85 in Livonia, Georgia last week, according to local cops. Following the duo's 7 p.m. pit stop, cops received a report of indecent exposure at the rear of the Raceway gas station. The rear of the Raceway gas station. Responding officers located a white female on top of a black female, and each of them had their pants pulled down, exposing their pelvic regions. The suspects were found on a patch of grass between the Raceway and a McDonald's restaurant. So you guys have seen the gas stations, like the truck stop gas stations. That's what I'm picturing here. They have the McDonald's a little off to the side, a little dog park in the back, some truckers over there, and then a little patch of grass. And these two women could not even make it to the McDonald's bathroom. Or maybe there were other lesbians having sex in all of the bathroom stalls in McDonald's, so they had to take it out here. Or maybe go to your car. Don't start scissoring on a patch of grass between Raceway and McDonald's. Now that's the McDonald's I'd like to see Trump serving fries at. Booth was sitting straight up with her pants down on top of Edom's pelvic region, which was also exposed. Yeah, we got that. The two were in the process of having intercourse in public view. Oh, that's what they were doing. Okay. I thought they just were exposing their pelvic regions. Maybe, I guess they could have been stripping when law enforcement arrived. So they must have been told to stop a number of times and didn't, because for police to get there and for them to still be scissoring feels like that's a lot of scissoring. Booth, 49, Edom, 37. Did these two women look 49 and 37? My God. That woman on the left looks 60. I'd say she looks 50 to me. That's what scissoring will do to you. Ages you. Both were arrested for public indecency and booked into the county jail on the misdemeanor charge. The alleged sex romp, cops say, occurred in broad daylight in the grass beside the street. In a Facebook post, police recommended that if individuals were tempted to reconcile your relationship with your life partner, they should get a room or go home. Maybe they only love each other when they are being, they're publicly shown. Some people can only get off when other people are watching. Maybe that's what's going on here. I'm going to look at the source document here, see if there's any other information in the source document. I wonder, maybe they got put in the same cell together for the night, so then they could have, picked up activity there. Okay, Raceway. Looks like it's pretty much the same. They were both taken into custody and transported to Franklin County. The vehicle was towed. Man, I wonder what was in it. Both were handcuffed behind their back, double locked, checked for fits, searched, vehicle searched before. And I don't think the body cam. So there's a body cam for this. It's probably on Pornhub. I don't think double locking their handcuffs tightly is going to stop them from what they were doing. I think they can still accomplish what happened. It wouldn't surprise me if that cop turned around and he's seeing the same thing going on in the back of that cop car. I don't know. I think people just get so kind of laced out on drugs, it just doesn't. Or they're so hammered that you don't even know what you're doing. I can't imagine seeing that. I don't know what I would do. What would you guys do if you need gas, you're pulling over to a truck stop, and you get out and you look over and there's two women having scissor sex in the grassy knoll in between the McDonald's and the truck stop. Do you stop? Do you observe for a minute? Do you say anything? Do you just walk by like it's normal? I might throw a Bitcoin at him, something. I don't know. I've seen a lot of things. I saw a guy masturbating at a bus stop once on Peachtree Street in Atlanta. I pulled out a WSB at the red light, and there's a bus stop right there. And this guy was sitting there with a blanket over his crotch and clearly was either violently shaking a beer bottle for the entire time I was at the red light or playing with himself. I didn't do anything. Drove right off. Didn't call the police, let him finish his work. Maybe that's the real crime here, is calling the police on these ladies. They would have been done in a minute, right? How long does it take? Can't handcuff this love, says Stoner. Looks like a dude in transition talking about that photo. New Pornhub category just dropped. Yeah, God, dude. There's probably a lot of those, man. I can't imagine working in an ER with the things that people come in that they put inside themselves. Let's see. Do people really still have ex-girlfriend's number on their phones? Yeah, that's a good question. Sometimes it's easier to delete it so you aren't tempted to fall back in. Let's see, all right. The old beer bottle under the blanket trick. Yeah. I'm going to go out and trick everybody into thinking I was beaten off at Peachtree and Atlantic. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate it. You guys are always fun. And, I enjoy the comments and commentary and the support. And we'll do it again soon. Hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving in a month, because that comes next month. And I hope everybody has a good Halloween and Christmas and Valentine's Day. Every holiday you celebrate. Tomorrow is Edmund's birthday, Halloween. So shout out to Edmund. He'll be 8 years old. He's a good doggy. He's sitting right over here. He's about to go for a walk. And on Tuesday, on election night, we're going to be doing a probably like 6-hour live stream starting around 5 with Liberty Libations. And we're going to be in a big green screen studio, and we're going to be trying a lot of experimental stuff. If anybody's in Atlanta, I know some of you guys are in the Atlanta area, send me a message on X if you're interested in, I'm considering doing a portion of the show, if there's interest, when we film on Tuesday, of having a small live audience of people just that are local listeners. So if you're interested in that, message me, and if we do that, I will send you the details. So at Freedom Act Radio on X. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day.